What's up, you guys? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today we have this video. This is something that I've been putting off for quite a quite a long time now. But you see, this is necessary. I have this Christmas tree here in my hands, and I need to clean it up. And also, I thought it would be a good opportunity to, do some operations on it that are going to affect its future. One of those is selecting a sacrificial branch here at the top. And, we see that that could be a problem because we have several of these super strong shoots that have now opened up their candles. And yeah, uh, also clean it up so that the lower shoots that are going to form the main structure of the tree receive enough sunlight and enough air and oxygen um, into them, right? Or onto them. So look, you can see that the tree is super vigorous, but the lower branches or the lower shoots that we have here that are now becoming candles. Some of them are opening. Um, they need the sunlight, and that's why we need to clean it up. Look at this super strong candle that we have here. So, like I said, that's exactly what we're going to do. Sorry if I bore you working with these species only. Uh, but yeah, I have several of these and other things that I got to do. You know that spring is pretty busy for bonsai practitioners. So, well, today, this week at least, I've been trying to produce a video a week. This week is going to be another Japanese black pine. Yeah. I've also been uploading a couple of shorts now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. We got a little um, cactus over there. So we're going to continue. And like I said, the first thing that we're going to do is clean it up a bit. You don't need to see the whole process for that. Just because the previous video that I uploaded, it's exactly the same operation. Basically, I'm cleaning up the little junctions here and there, the little corners, the little crotches that we have in the branches, especially here on the top, so that we can figurize the lower little branches or the lower shoots. Okay, so I'm gonna put the camera down, and yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Okay, so here we go. So I've already started removing some of these right here, just so that we have a better idea of what we're working with. And like I said, the idea is to remove needles so that everything is clear, and the air and the sunlight especially could continue and reach the lower sections of the tree. Yeah. So you see how it's opening, and we got more room for the light to reach the lower little branches. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. As a general rule, uh, what some bonsai practitioners like to do is to remove the little needles that are under the shoot or under the little branch, just because those has have a uh, you know a harder time receiving the sunlight as it is. Yeah, and so um, you know when you're forming a pad, when you're trying to get shoots, you select the shoots that grow laterally, not the ones that are growing downwards or upwards for that matter. So if you clear out the lower section or the under section of a little branch, that's perfect for what we want to do. Yeah. So like I said, this is pretty boring. So I'm going to continue doing this off camera, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay. So here we go. So here we are. In general, I think that's as far as I want to go. If you notice, we got more needles at the base than the ones that we got on top, and that's just because we want to redistribute the energy so that all sections of the plant have enough energy. and the energy is dictated by how much needles you got. So if the tree directs its energy mostly to the top, as we can see very clearly in this example, we want to reduce the amount of needles that we have there so that we have an even amount of energy. I'm gonna be I'm gonna go a little further in and do this. Yeah, this for me previously it was something that I would have never considered because just this is how I learned it. The person I learned bonsai from, which is another YouTuber by the name of David Cortizas in Spanish from Spain. Actually, he said that this is a big no-no. Some Japanese masters say that it's not a good idea to remove, or in this case, to trim needles like this. It's going to look awful. But I've seen people in Japan doing this, so I think in some cases it would be acceptable. It would be necessary just so that the long, super vigorous needles don't shadow, in this case, overshadow the needles at the base. Yeah, and so you can see that that's mainly going to be it when it comes to needle plucking and yeah, needle pruning. In this case, it's going to look uneven, but at the same time, we can see the structure of the alternating little bots here, and that's really good. Okay, so the next phase would be to select the sacrificial branch here up top. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's going to be this little guy right here. You know why? Because I'm also going to try and air layer this whole section right here. Because wouldn't it be cool if we got like a whole little Japanese black pine from air layering? Look, I think I'm gonna here. Wouldn't it be cool if we got a successful air layer here? I think that would be pretty neat. And like I said, I'm gonna prune the rest, and I'm actually also gonna try and root them, just putting them in some cocoa coir or cocoa peat. Yeah, because I've heard that both you can air layer these, and also you can root the prune candles. So I'm gonna make use of this situation. In this case, selecting a new sacrificial branch in order to see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to start pruning. I'm going to put the camera down again. I'm going to find my angle, and then we start with the pruning. Yeah, let's clear this whole thing out so that we only have the new sacrificial branch and the air layer to be. Okay, so here we go. It's difficult to find something that allows me to shoot this high enough. So I'm just going to proceed with these. Some of these are tiny, like this one right here. And some of these are much bigger, much more bigger, as you see. So regardless, I've got this container at the ready. This is an old broken bonsai pot. And immediately I'm going to place them here. Okay, just like so. And this might sound like unorthodox, but in the past I managed to root deodar cedars like this. So you wouldn't actually think this is a species that roots by cuttings, but I don't know, maybe candles are different, right? So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'm going to show you just how much I got here in the tray. Yeah. And then we'll continue with the air layering. Okay. So here we go. So here we have them. And you can also see that I've cleared out cat that I've cleared out the space. This is the sacrificial branch, and now this is ready for the air layer. Okay. I also clear this whole branch of the needles that we had, just so that we continue with these theme, right? With this topic of redistributing the energy. So I'm gonna place the air layer little capsule here, and I'm actually gonna do this with another tree. I figure it's a nice idea to do them all at once, so that I can, evaluate their progress. So I'm gonna get everything ready, and then I'll show you what it looks like after the fact, because it's impossible for me to film and do these sort of two-hand operations at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then yeah, we'll continue from there. Here we go. So here we are. You can see that I applied a little bit of wire over here. This is mostly to, for the little capsule to have something to sit on. But I've also heard that if you reduce the flow of sap to this section of the plant, you further induce it to produce more roots, to send out more roots. You can see that I've removed the cambium completely, and now it's just a matter of putting the capsule in place. Yeah, these are very, very useful. These are very good, very convenient. And I'm going to use this mixture right here. It's a mixture of cocoa coir and peat moss. Well, some sort of moss, sorry, sphagnum moss, some sort of sphagnum moss that I have available where I live. So, yeah, that's my mixture. That's going to be the last step before we continue to the other Japanese black pine that I have, for this operation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to fill these holes, halves of the container with a heaping amount of the mixture, and that's going to hold its shape fairly well. And I'm just going to close it. Yeah, you can see that it's got convenient little holes that match. I'm just going to use a little bit of wire to keep them in place. Yeah, it's very important that you have a union that doesn't move, because that could break the newly formed roots at the site. Okay, so I'm going to do that, of course, and again off camera, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Here we go. There we are. A little bit more challenging than I thought, just because I didn't remove uh, the necessary amount of needles from the top, and it was difficult to close. But now it's there in position. I am gonna have to remove them because this is the place where the water is going to come in, so that this stays moist. Yeah. So that's it with this one. I got two more to do, but with the rhythm, I think it's going to be easier now. But anyway, yeah, this is basically it. I'm going to show you what the other two look like, and then we're going to call it a day. Okay, here we go. So just before we continue, I thought I'd show you the plant that I'm going to air later. It's this spine that I've also shown you in other videos. I decided to air layer these two little branches because I figure I wanted a bigger bonsai. Yeah. Um, in previous videos, you've seen me trying to, um, work on smaller trees or trying to produce smaller trees, but I want a larger one, and I think this one is very well suited for that. Look at this huge candle from this season. I've already removed uh, the candles, sorry, the needles from this area. I'm going to remove a couple more just to be sure. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do off camera. Okay. So I'm going to do that. And like I said, we're going to call it a day. Yeah. So here I go. Okay. So here we are. Things didn't go exactly I had planned, as I had planned. But in general, here we are. Yeah. And they got everything that's necessary for them to root. I didn't apply any rooting hormone just because I know how vigorous these pines are. And I didn't use the little capsules because for these in particular, they were too big to fit in that little section that we had. But I remember another technique which involved plastic bags like these um, that I saw online, and I thought, I'll give it a go. After all, if these are successful, this is like a 5,000% gaining or gains on what I invested. Because remember, these were only performed so that after prune these little branches, which I'm not going to use in this little tree, well, they didn't go to waste. That's why I also planted the little candles, yeah, that I pruned, and we'll see what happens. Um, if in 2 weeks I can see that these are still green, that's it. I won, or you won if you do this technique as well. Just because it's just a matter of time. If in 2 weeks you continue to see growth, you continue to see them green, you won. Don't worry about it. Just wait until you see the roots through the plastic, or if you open the little capsule. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. A little long, a little choppy, but I really hope you liked it. And yeah, I'll keep you posted on this little experiment. This is something that happens all the time in bonsai, but this is practically the first time that I tried it. So let's see what happens. Not practically. This is the first time I try this, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you so much for the support. If you have any comments, doubts, questions, or anything, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.